You know, the Bible says that our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, for a reason. And I say that to address this entire Donald Sterling LA Clippers situation. The only people that may see this are those who are connected to me via Facebook or whoever shares it or whatever the case may be. But I want to say it because it's my opinion, and I want to speak on my opinion. I am a lover of diversity and an embracer of all people, of all races, all genders, all orientations. I love people, and this has nothing to do with black or white. But what we have to understand is this, whether it be in athletics or whether it be in the entertainment industry, whatever the industry may be, we have to understand that this has been going on for years. This is nothing new. And every time something like this happens or comes out, we want to act surprised. We want to act outraged. We want to act as if, it's shocking that, racism and certain beliefs and certain thought processes still exist in this country. It's not about still existing. They never stopped existing. And just because they put a new face on it or just because they put a new outfit on it, it doesn't mean that slavery has changed. When there was slavery, they had slaves picking cotton and doing whatever slaves did, whether they were black slaves or slaves of another ethnicity. What you have to understand now is it's a form of slavery, but you're getting paid to do it. Athletes and whomever are getting paid a minimum wage. It may be an enormous amount to normal people like myself, but it's a minimum wage compared to the amount of money that they're actually making off of you. Athletes, entertainers, certain athletes and entertainers are getting paid a minimum wage off of your blood, sweat, tears, and labor to make these types of people more money. People like Donald Sterling. And a protest is not, an athlete wearing a shirt backwards or wearing a black pair of socks to say, hey, I'm proud, I'm black. That's not a protest. And if you actually knew and understood the power that you have, you could actually make a difference. Chris Paul could actually make a difference if he understood and knew the power that he has. When you reach a certain position, when you reach a certain pinnacle, and you are an all-star, and whatever it is that you are doing, you have a voice. So be a voice for your people. Make a difference, because you wearing a shirt backwards or wearing some black socks, wearing a black t-shirt, or whatever the case may be, is not making a difference. You saying that we are going to look into the situation, what is there to look into? What investigation needs to be done? That is not making a difference. But a lot of us don't have that knowledge, so we do whatever it is we think is going to make some form of an impact when it's not. Because every time you play, even though you're saying, oh, we're doing it for the fans, every time you play, you are making this type of person more money off of your blood, sweat, and labor. Now your finances are important to you, and they should be, just like mine are important to me. Winning an NBA championship may be your dream and may be important to you at this time, but you have to see the bigger picture, and you have to make an impact. Our people can make an impact if we just use our voice and do it. If you just stop playing for one game, if you just do not perform for one show or one concert, if you just do not do something, you will make an impact, because you will start to affect their pocketbook. And people like that, that's their main focus, that money. When you start getting into their pockets, then you start making a difference. When you start actually saying, you know what, I'm not going to play, I'm not going to perform, I'm not going to do it, because of my belief system, because I care about my people and how my people perceive me, because I want to be one that makes a difference, because I want to be one that has a voice for my people, because I want to be one that has a voice for people like Lonnie and whomever that have a certain belief system, and it may be right. I want to be able to kind of push that, because it is a belief system that all people, no matter the race, no matter the gender, no matter the orientation, all people should be treated equally, all people should be treated fairly, and no one should be ostracized or alienated because of their differences. And no one should be talked about like they're some common slave being used to make money. But that's what they do. And the worst part about it is we allow it. So we can be peed off, we can be outraged, we can be angry, but that being peed off, that outrage and that anger should be directed towards the right people, us. Donald Sterling is an older individual. This is not a mentality that he woke up with on yesterday. This is a mentality that he has had. And let us not forget the young lady who kind of led the conversation. Maybe she didn't get something she wanted. Maybe this is wanted. Maybe this is her way of throwing a temper tantrum. This is her way. Maybe this is her way of saying, you know what? I'm going to leave this relationship and I'm not going to leave empty-handed. Because now I'll get interviews on radio shows, talk shows, book deals, and all of that because I set you up. They've probably had this conversation before. And listening to the conversation, she didn't stand up for black people. She didn't say, how dare you talk about my people like that. She didn't do anything, to actually make a difference, even during that conversation. She was more focused on, I'm sorry, honey, what can I do to make you feel better? And things like that. She didn't stand up for us because this is a conversation that they've had before, and she probably listened to and agreed with. She probably kind of contributed to the mentality that he has, telling him that, oh, I'm different, I'm not like them. She knew recording the conversation what he was going to say because she's had this conversation with him before. So let's not just kind of sweep her under the rug and not pay attention to her and focus so much on this big, bad white guy who said something about black people again. We say stuff about each other every day and nobody gets outraged when we should be. We down talk each other every day and nobody gets angered, and we should. So let's not forget about her in this entire situation. My main point is, when you lack the knowledge to know what to do to actually make a difference, you won't do it. And you will think that what you are doing is actually making a difference, and it's not. That's insanity. You're thinking that if I do this, I'm taking a stand. And you're not. You're not doing anything to make a difference. And this has been existing in our community for the longest of time. And nothing has changed because we refuse to do something to change it. We can have all the dreams that we want. We can have all the rallies that we want. We can have all the marches that we want, all the vigils that we want. We can do all of that, and thank God for all of that. But at the end of the day, are you making a difference? Because a week from now, 2 weeks from now, when we got 4 angry black women on some reality TV show going at it with each other, and that becomes the new hot story, and we forget all about Donald Sterling, what are we going to do then? We need to wake up and realize the knowledge, the power that we have. We need to embrace that knowledge. Don't play for one game. I'm not even talking about the entire season or the entire playoffs. Don't play for one game and see how much of an impact you make when you start hitting those pocketbooks. Because if you don't play, the fans don't show up. And if the fans don't show up, there is no concessions to buy. There is no parking to pay. There are no hotel rooms to get. There's nothing left to be done. You affect pockets. There is no broadcast on any television station. You affect pockets. When you stop being so afraid of losing your endorsement deal or being fined or whatever the case may be, when you actually say, you know what, I'm going to make a difference, that's when you'll make a difference. Now, people like Donald Sterling and whomever else who has that belief system may not care either way about someone like me saying something like this because it doesn't affect his pockets. I don't work for him. So he's probably like, it's just another angry black guy. And I'm not angry. I see the truth for what the truth is. A lot of people like him think that way, just like a lot of black people have certain thoughts in regards to white people. It's sad, but it's just our United States of America. That's just how we think, unfortunately. Not a lot of people say, let's embrace all. Embrace all. Differences and all. Let's just embrace each other and love one another and build one another. Not a lot of people think like that. But understand that you can make a difference. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and whomever else plays for that team. You can make a difference. You just have to choose to make that difference. You just have to choose to make that difference. Because what you're doing right now with wearing the shirts backwards and talking about we're looking into the situation, that's not making a difference. Black radio, black television, so angry and so mad, black commentators, so angry and so mad at Donald Sterling, that's not making a difference. That's not making a difference. He even said in the conversation, I don't care if you blank Magic Johnson, sleep with Magic Johnson. They don't care. And it's been like that since slavery. Slave owners would sleep with female slaves and not care if you went back to your black husband or your black boyfriend or your black significant other, whatever the case may be. They don't care. You are disposable. And it's unfortunate that many people think like that. Just like it's unfortunate that many black people have the mentality that we have. It's just unfortunate that we can't embrace and love one another. That's sad. That saddens me. But the main point is, we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You may not physically die, but our community is destroyed because we lack the knowledge to know what to do, to make an impact, and to make a difference. I love Dr. Martin Luther King, but we ain't got no more time to be dreaming. I love, every advocate and every person from the civil rights movement. I love, the Malcolm X's and the Marcus Garveys and people that actually had a voice and tried to make a difference. But we have no more time for dreaming. We have no more time to be standing behind podiums making grand, great speeches. We have no more time to hold hands, sing "We Shall Overcome" as we march some street where a black teenager got killed by a white man, when black teenagers are killing each other daily. We don't have no time for that. That was great in the 50s and the 60s and into the 70s. It was awesome. I thank God for it, and I thank God for my ancestors that died, due to slavery and due to racism. I thank God for it all. Trust me, I do. And I am not making light of their struggle nor that situation. However, we don't have any more time, to just kind of sit back and let things happen. You don't have to be violent. You don't have to be indignant. You don't have to be ignorant. You don't have to be stupid or foolish. You don't even have to make a big grand scene. You just have to make a difference. Use your voice to make a difference. This is me hopefully making a difference, because if I can reach one person, then that one person will reach another person, and then that person will reach another person, and it will spread. So if I can reach just one person, I'm happy with that. Let us not forget that it still does exist, and racism exists, and it's not just whites against blacks, it's blacks against whites. It's us against Asians. It's Asians against Hispanics. It's Hispanics against us. It's all over, and it's sad, and it's pitiful, and it needs to stop. But me saying it needs to stop is not going to stop it. But whatever you have the power to do, whatever difference you have the power to make, whatever impact you have the power to make, you better make it. And you better make it real quick, because if you don't, things are only going to get worse. And you're going to act surprised, because you're really not, because you know. You're going to act surprised every time something like this happens. And that is the worst part about it all. Use the knowledge that you have to make a difference that I know and a lot of people know that you can make.